Hey, what are you guys doing? Hey, they're back. Hey, guys. Hey, what are you doing here? Good to see you. Thanks for coming back. Oh, I see some new faces too. Thanks, guys. Hey, today in this video, I actually want to talk to you about my two favorite ways, my two favorite ways to make money online. How about that? There's actually a strategy that I have been working on for quite a while, and it's really two parts. There's the short play and the long play. And I'm going to break down both of those for you right now. First of all, I just want to say thanks for coming back. The channel is growing and things are going well. You guys are here in the beginning of things. Isn't that pretty exciting? It's very cool. And hey, guess what, guys? We're over 700 subscribers. We're actually pushing our way to 1,000, which means really good things. And guess what? For our 1,000 subscriber, I'm going to do something really, really cool. Is it going to be you? It might be you. So stay tight with us. And before I really get started, I promise I'm getting to the good stuff. I promise. Look, I have failed. I did something, or I didn't do something. I don't have any courses to sell you. I don't have any boot camps. No, when I say it, I actually mean it. I just haven't developed anything like that. People keep asking me to, but I just haven't developed any boot camps or courses or, I don't know, no events to book you into. So maybe I'm stupid, but I keep giving you guys all this knowledge for free. So it's legitimately for free. However, you do have to put up with me a little bit, and so maybe that's a price that's more than money. But I just want to ask you guys, all that we ever ask is that maybe you like, subscribe, and comment the word AI. Let's use AI. Comment the word AI, and I'm actually going to give you guys access to everything that I've built between me and some other great folks. I'm going to share this with you right now. I'm going to give you guys access to everything right here through my GorillaAITools.com site, and you guys are going to get the checklist to over 300 plus AI tools that you can utilize, test out, try, and do all the fun things, as well as access to our Discord community and all of the fun stuff. So that's it. Just comment AI, and I will send you your access to all the goodies, and we look forward to connecting with you guys from there. What I want to show you guys is my two favorite ways. Now, you would say, Jeremy, show me the short stuff. How do I make money quick, soon, fast, bigger, better, faster, now? Well, it's not that simple. Actually, the process is simple. It's just not really easy because it requires effort. And if you're not ready to put in some sort of effort for yourself, I can't help you. Nobody can. No amount of videos, no workshops, no boot camps. You could spend thousands of dollars chasing the next shiny thing or the next shiny gathering or whatever it is. Until you get off your ass, nothing's going to get any better. So I'm going to ask you one simple question before we move forward. Why? Why? If you've been stuck, like I've been for many years, on grinding it out 9 to 5, if you're checking in every single morning or punching the clock for somebody else, I'm going to ask you one simple question. What part of that do you like most? You go, well, I don't like any of it. Well, you must like some of it if you keep doing it. But let me ask you, why would you want to make money online? The answer is really pretty simple, and it's right here. When people talk about AI and the rise of AI, there's 92 million jobs will be put to rest or put out to pasture or erased, as they're saying right now. Which ones will be erased first by AI? I can tell you guys that if you don't figure out something and your industry is, and a lot of them, it'd take too long to name them all, a lot of them are just going to be outmoded or replaced by AI. Now, look, your regular service type guys, your HVAC guys, your plumbers, your electricians, your dog walkers, your poop scoopers, all of those things, you guys are safe. You're safe. For now. Hopefully for a really long time. But this particular article in Forbes, don't take my word for it. Take it the big brains over at Forbes will tell you the 92 million jobs will be erased by AI. And it goes down and talking on and on about the multitudes of jobs that will be put out of business, or the multitude of companies that will be put out of business, and of course the jobs thereafter. I'm showing you right now, I'm going to link the article in the description of this video so you can read more. Hopefully you're not depressed. Hopefully you're actually inspired by what I'm about to show you. Now, let's talk about the long play first. Promise, I'll get to the shorter money soon, but the longer play, I actually want to talk to you guys about this first. Now, the first part of this is affiliate marketing. And you go, wait, hold on. I've heard ClickFunnels, this, that, the other thing. I'm going to show you the easiest way to start making money between the utilization of AI, which you don't need to be a pro at, and affiliate marketing. You see, there are companies who come to business arrangements or groups to promote their particular type of product. And in doing so, I want to show you one of the best companies that I've ever worked with, and that is PartnerStack. Now, PartnerStack is a great company not because they pay me, they actually don't. But what they have is a conglomeration or gathering of companies that use social media influencers or people who create content to promote their products. Instead of hiring a sales force, they pay people like me and like you eventually to promote whatever it is that they are creating or whatever their product or their service is. And in turn, they pay you for not just the clicks, but conversions. And the type of payments vary from one-time payments to ongoing commissions. Some are temporary, some are on and on and on. And I'm going to show you the best way to access that. Now, becoming a part of the PartnerStack network is just as simple as going to partnerstack.com. The link is actually in the description as well. And you can look through a lot of the vendors and the companies that they deal with. And the people behind me are really a multitude of them. I'm going to turn my camera up so you can see them all. There's lots of these companies. Now, you may not be familiar with them, but they do a multitude of things that you are familiar with. These are different type of business solutions, whether it be recruiting elements, Instant Page, Webflow, Freshworks, Teamwork. These are our business automation tools that people utilize, that a lot of companies utilize, including SocialBee and a lot of others. In fact, even companies like QuickBooks are represented by them. And two of my really favorite tools, I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about in the past, which are ElevenLabs, which, hey, good morning, Jeremy. Hey, ElevenLabs, how are you today? And also Spotter Studio, which I'm going to do some more videos on Spotter because they've released new stuff, and it's super exciting. So I'm going to show you how some of those tools work here in the near future, and it's really fun stuff, guys. It's really fun. It's not a secret. I'm just whispering because whatever. But these particular tools, ElevenLabs and Spotter Studio, are represented by our folks over here at PartnerStack because they've come to them to handle everything from the recruitment element to paying commissions and so on, and so that you and I can make a nice little bit of scratch every single month. What's really cool about this, see, I have a background in finance and mortgage. You've heard this before. Maybe you haven't. But if you close a high-ticket sale or you sell $1 million home as a real estate agent or whatever it is, you're going to go out and get that deal every single month. And yeah, it's a nice chunk of change. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not telling you to quit your job. Don't quit your job. Just don't quit your job until you can, until you've doubled your income or whatever it is. But I don't have to look for the next deal anymore because now I'm getting paid commissions every single month, whether I'm awake or whether I'm not. And somebody I heard quoted recently, and I don't remember who to attribute the original quote to, is that basically, if you don't learn how to make money when you sleep, you'll always have to go to work, okay? And I'm sure I'm simplifying it, but I think you get it. This is actually a great opportunity for you guys to create passive income, or at least semi-passive. This would definitely be passive, once you actually develop a customer base of people who are utilizing the tools that you promote. You go, Jeremy, I don't even know about all these tools, but I guarantee there are things that are in here. Plus, there are a multitude of other things you guys can explore in the AI space, and there's never been a better time because AI is getting into everything. Everything, guys. And so you can promote these types of tools on a regular basis by just showing how they work. And if people sign up for free trials and they end up keeping them, guess what? You get a slice of that action every single month as long as people keep the tools. And if they don't, well, of course, the payday stops. But you can keep promoting these things ongoing so you can be paid constantly. And that's a lot of fun. It's actually a lot of fun. And it keeps getting better. So promoting this particular tool through PartnerStack means you have access to a lot of great goodies. And in that checklist that I showed you before, there's a whole pile of them that you can create all on your own and customize any of those links for yourself, explore them all, and find something you really dig and you want to share with people. That's all it is. I get really excited about learning something and I immediately want to share it because I get excited. You know, and the more that you share and the more that you teach, the more you'll end up learning. It's exciting. And you go, well, that sounds really easy. It is. It's not the easy button. It requires you constantly do stuff. And that's okay. If the worst thing you guys got to do is shoot a video from, I don't know, from the beach, then so be it. Congratulations. And it can pay you on and on. Very nice. These agreements with these different companies, like I said, vary. Some will pay you for an acquisition. Some will pay you on and on. And the paydays are really good. The commissions range anywhere from sometimes 10% to 30%. And in fact, one of my favorite tools that I absolutely love for two reasons, and I'm going to get into that in a second, is Go High Level. Go High Level, the reason that I love them, I have a lot of reasons. It's kind of a romance in a way. I'm kidding. But you get a 40% recurring commission on all Go High Level plans. Now, here's the cool thing. Their minimum plan is only $97 a month. And then there's $297 and $497, and there's other things that are there. But you guys get 40% commission. Why? Because it's a digital product. There's no cost of goods. There's maintenance for their servers and their staff and for their things. But for promoting them, you get paid a 40% commission every single month that people stay on the product. Now, this is part of the long-term play because Go High Level, they pay me every month. Rain or shine, whether I'm awake or asleep, they don't really care. And neither do I. But what I do is I give people the opportunity to try out the product and give people a 14, 30-day free trial, whatever happens to be the promotion at the time, for people to try it out. And I got to tell you, the retention is amazing because of what High Level does. So there are a ton of different tools and products that you could promote out there. And every time you see a pop-up now that comes onto your Instagram feed or your Facebook or TikTok about a thing, guess what? If you see that tool, whether it be, Descript, ElevenLabs, Spotter Studios, you name it, Submagic, all these companies, they offer an affiliate program to you because you're cheaper than paying for salaries and workman's comp and unemployment taxes and 401ks and on and on and on. And guess what? You and I, if we call in sick, nobody cares because the company still makes revenue from the sales that we promote, and they're going to continue to pay you. I think I've kind of covered that. Do you get that? So that's the long-term play. It takes a while to build that up, but eventually your commissions can equal whatever salary you're making and beyond. So it doesn't take that much to end up making an extra $2,000, $5,000 a month. And like I said in the video, obviously you saw the thumbnail, $500 a day. That should be a great goal to get to, because that can actually lead to a lot of financial freedom for you. I'm not your financial advisor, but you get what I'm talking about. But if you can make an extra, I don't care if it's like $100 a day, that should be your first goal. Thankfully, we're growing beyond that. But going from there on up to 5,000, 5,000 a month shouldn't really be that horrible of a goal for you. And it definitely is attainable. That's the long play, because the varying commissions and the varying percentages that they pay you as an override, that will just keep building over time. This isn't going to happen overnight. Like I said, don't abandon what you're doing for your job right now. Hopefully I can show you guys how to do this as a side hustle that can turn into something bigger, because my real goal is to set as many people free financially as I possibly can. What do I get out of that? I get a little bit here and there for bringing you guys and showing you these things if you sign up for this stuff. But what I really get is fulfilling my life's mission, and it's setting people free financially so that you have the security for your family, that you know that your bills are paid, whether your company decides to downsize, right size, whatever they call it, restructure, that you aren't affected anymore. That is a huge personal goal for me. And if I can give that to you, then my life is really very, very fulfilled. And that's why I created this Discord community for you guys, so that you can be a part of all the things that we're doing and communicate with other people who are doing exactly this every single day. So I want to invite you to the group and have you communicate with us so that my group of specialists can also help mentor you and get you to where you want to be. But back to the goodies. So High Level, I'll bring you back to this. HighLevel is one of the greatest tools in my understanding and in my belief. HighLevel is the number one CRM tool out there. Yeah, you guys can argue with me over this and HubSpot this and other things. I don't really care. I'm normally pretty brand agnostic, but I got to tell you, the amount of value that I've been able to provide utilizing this tool has been nothing short of fantastic. So HighLevel does this, and now we're going to talk about the short play. And one of the reasons that I created what I do with my digital agency piece with HighLevel is that, as you've seen in some of my previous videos, guys, I create services, or I provide services for local businesses who then in turn pay me a decent amount of money every month to help these sorts of automations, whether it be from their CRM, their workflows, to automated nurturing campaigns, to their Google My Business profiles, their social media management, you name it. I've learned these things because it turned out that this stuff is actually quite valuable. And so I want to tell you a quick story. Hang with me because it's actually really important. I was going through a situation where I was looking for a home inspector for a mortgage client of mine in the state of Washington. And wouldn't you believe I called at least 8 of them? I'm talking 8 of them. Not one answered because they didn't have a simple thing, which you see right next to me here, missed call text back. Not one. Could you believe it? And so out of 8 of them, I texted everyone that I could. And then only one actually called me back the next day. Is that annoying? I was irritated. And guess what? I'm not alone. You guys understand this. And if you don't believe me, I'm actually going to show you national statistics. I'm going to show you guys right here. This is a great article that I actually found. And it was on an interesting blog. But what I found that was really interesting in this article, it was talking about people interacting with businesses via text. Now, you don't typically start a conversation with a business via text, but if they responded back to you in text, wouldn't you then think that it was fair game to communicate? Of course you would. And here's a couple of the interesting data points that I found. Of course, like always, I'm going to link this article down below so you guys can look at this. But on this, point 17 was, small and mid-sized businesses miss about 62% of their calls. 62%. Do you know why? Because they're busy being plumbers. They're busy being electricians. They're busy installing your AC. These guys miss 62% of their calls. And it's not just because during business hours they're busy, but these companies also have off hours. Have you ever had a plumbing emergency or something in the middle of the night? Sure you have. Have you ever been, do some of you live in rather warm climates where if your AC goes out in the middle of the night, you might look for an emergency service to help you take care of that? Of course you would. And if they don't have a mechanism in place like missed call text back, you know for damn sure they very rarely will have an after hours service that can dispatch somebody right away, or a mechanism for them to follow up with you. It's really simple, guys, and I want to break down the math for you. The maths are impressive on this. This comes from a guy who graduated with a consumer math credit in high school. So just know that 62% of their calls go unanswered on average. Now, it doesn't mean we're talking national average as far as this goes, guys. So I'm going to show you something else that was very interesting. Don't trust me, watch me, okay? And then you'll see what I'm talking about. Right here, we asked old trusty ChatGPT. I said, what are the average ticket prices, number one, for these types of businesses? And they told me HVAC, $300 to $400. Repairs could be $1,000 or plus for major work. Plumbers, $200 to $400, $300 to $500 for electrical, and roofing obviously can be considerably more. Okay, so the average ticket price, $300 to $500. So we have our basis right there for the beginning of the equation, $300 to $500. All right. Now, as we see, there are a lot more that can go beyond that, but this is just a small sample size. So let's say that it's $400. Okay, right smack in the middle, we're going to use our $400 amount. Now, I want you to look at this. Aside from this, I went down and I asked them, when I put this actually into ChatGPT, I said, what is their revenue loss? And they said average ticket value, this amount they're going to lose, might even miss per lead, could be $15,000 to $25,000 in annual loss, even just for a small shop. Okay. Higher ticket, $5,000 to $15,000 in lost opportunities for an HVAC place. The thing I hadn't considered, guys, was lifetime customer value. If you deal with a service-based industry and they did a good job for you, do you want to have to go out and find a new HVAC guy? Do you want to go find a new plumber? Do you want to find a new... Look, my wife has been using the same person to cut her hair for our entire life together, okay? So we're talking 19 years. She's been going to the same person to get her hair done. And once you find somebody who takes care of you, who understands you and respects you and so on, respects your business, you want to stick with the people ongoing. So when they said lifetime customer value, something I hadn't even thought about, I mean, we're talking about over a 5 to 10 year span, people are losing $3,000 to $10,000 per client that they miss. I hadn't even thought about that equation. So if you think a small business could lose $10,000 per client, they don't want to do that. It impacts their brand, their reputation. They're losing operational efficiency, on and on. Bottom line, A missed lead isn't just losing a $300 for a repair call. It can be losing thousands in lifetime revenue and marketing dollars. The marketing dollars is really what comes into play. And this is the next point I wanted to make, is that when I asked on the average ad spend, okay, average ad spend, these guys are spending per channel 25 to 50 bucks per lead, okay? They're spending that much to acquire those customers because the conversion means everything. Let me repeat that one more time. They spend a lot on leads because the conversion means everything. Like Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. If you miss 62% of your calls, how much are you really missing out on? And if a business that you call just happens to text you back, if you call and say, you call them and they text you back and go, hey, sorry we missed your call, how can we help? What that would do is at least stop you for a second from going on to the next one. And you would say, oh, well, hell, yeah, perfect. Having an emergency. And if you give someone a mechanism to capture that potentially lost business, do you think it's worth something? I'm going to show you guys the math, how it goes into work right now. We go down across their average advertising budget. They say normally HVAC companies spend anywhere from $2,500 to $12,000 per month. A lot of other trades do that as well. They spend $1,000 to $4,000 per month on leads, on ad spend to generate those leads. I'm not talking about you setting up ad campaigns for them. Yeah, I can show you how to do that. That's a whole other video. I can show you how to do that. What I'm talking about is making sure that they don't lose money on the ads that they're already buying. That they capture that revenue instead of letting it just walk out the door. They're instead having a mechanism in place that helps to capture that so that they can convert those deals and turn them into lifetime customers. You understand? So I'm really excited about this. By simply turning on one little thing, they all of a sudden have the opportunity to turn these into real conversions. So let's talk about it. Let's do the math. The average ticket value, we're going to call it $400. Missed calls per week. Let's talk about missed calls per day. Let's talk about they miss 10 calls a day. 5 days a week, they're going to miss 50 calls. And if they close only 20% of those deals, they're leaving over $3,700 a month on the table. $3,700 a month. And guess what? We could set somebody up with a service like this for under 300 bucks. They're going to spend less than 300 bucks to have something like this done. And they can capture an extra $3,000 a month, not to mention the lifetime value that they could potentially have with that client. Guys, if you don't see an opportunity in this, I'm going to be worried about you. So to reiterate, let's talk about the long-term and the short-term play. Your long-term play is using services, going back and promoting things like I talked about with PartnerStack. Getting your affiliate income going by promoting tools like HighLevel that make a ton of sense for small businesses. Or if you wanted to even have a side business, like providing services like that to your local home-based businesses like that, or bigger, you scale it however size you like. But you can get started by promoting serious, real high-quality tools, enjoying learning and what you're doing in this ever-changing landscape of everything in AI and business. Be at the forefront of technology. This stuff's actually exciting. I get jazzed about it. If you can't tell, I get, I was the guy who said I had my woohoo removed at birth. Well, woohoo! Like, seriously, guys, I love this. You can promote awesome tools, make a recurring affiliate income that you build over time to then replace whatever your salary, whatever your income is at this time. And in the meantime, you're able to set up awesome services for local businesses like Missed Call Text Back, not even all of the other awesome tools inside of HighLevel, which I can show you all of that stuff. And also you could join with the best, absolute best communities in the world is the Go HighLevel official group inside of Facebook and so on. I got to tell you, I want to teach every one of you guys how to do this fun stuff, guys and gals. I don't know, what should I even be using anymore? Anyway, you people. I want to teach you people how to do things, okay? How to have fun, grow residual income, do other cool stuff, and get outside of your normal comfort zone and have a great time. So from here, I just want to say thanks once again for being here as a part of the video. I'm always open to answer questions for you guys. I answer every single comment on my YouTube videos personally. There's no AI bots in that. I want to make sure that I'm doing it as a personal thing. And I want to implore you as well. In that checklist that I'm going to send you has our link to our Discord community. I would love to see you guys there. I'd love to connect with you and help you level up your game and hopefully one day retire you before AI retires you and put you in the driver's seat of your future income for you and your family. I want you to decide when and where you go on vacation and for how long instead of somebody else getting to dictate that, because that's how you were meant to live. That's a life you were meant to have. And if I can help you do that, then by all means, I'm going to be very fulfilled in my life. From the studios here at the AI Money Press, thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.